Hi, I'm Nola, and I'm here with Steven Goldstein of Keyhole Productions Photography.
Right.
And he photographs a lot of cosplayers and costumers at conventions. So, Steve, how did you get started with photography? And specifically going to conventions and taking pictures of people?
Okay. Well, I've been attending conventions since since I was a kid, um, and as years went by and other things went on in my life, I found myself finally in a position to get a camera because I've loved photography since high school, but I could never afford it. So I finally got into a position to actually buy a camera, and it was a little Fuji FinePix S5000, and started taking a bunch of pictures, taking that to live events, parties and such that I'd go to, and I'm a member of a group that throws a lot of like house parties, and we go to conventions and whatnot. And there's generally a costume theme, usually like a medieval type of costume theme to it. And I would go to those parties and take pictures, and kind of fell in love with it there. And I realized that the camera that I had wasn't up to the task of what I wanted to do. So, a friend of mine
So you
introduced me.
upgraded.
A friend of mine introduced me to a Canon, bastard, and because that's been my really expensive hobby now. So yeah, upgraded. So right now I'm shooting with a Canon 7D Mark II. It's a pretty steep investment to get into it, an upfront cost. But with digital, you're not like paying for film, you're not doing
Right.
developing, and it's not like you take the pictures and cross your fingers and hope that they came out. It was really actually kind of natural for me to take pictures of them, and I've been told I have a knack. So that's kind of how I got started.
From there, I guess talk a little bit about doing costumes or doing photography of costumes. Is there anything that you would recommend for somebody who's getting into photographing cosplayers specifically, or going to conventions and doing that? I know that there's almost a love-hate relationship between the photographer and the cosplayer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to talk a little bit about that and why it is, and what are the best ways to help fix that and make it a love relationship.
um, yeah. Okay. So advice to new photographers: if you're going to conventions, let's say we're here in Phoenix, Arizona. So if you're going to the comic conventions like Phoenix Comic Con, which is held at the same place every year, get to know the lay of the land, get to know the lighting, because you're going to be doing a lot of natural light to make the pictures, and should only be augmenting the light with a flash if you need to, because the lighting conditions in those places change from room to room and from hour to hour.
Oh, wow, yeah, lighting. I hadn't really thought about the lighting part.
Lighting is key. Lighting is huge. It's really all about the lighting.
Well, when you go to a convention, like, do you bring your own lights? Do you set up in one location? What do you do?
Me personally, I like to roam. So
Yeah.
there's a couple of schools of thought on lighting, and one of them is to take the light off the camera. Use a hot shoe light, like a speed light, and take it off the camera and have it on the side so that you don't have flat light. I actually, because it's just me walking around by myself, I don't have an assistant or anything,
Right.
and it's a lot of gear. I will keep the light on the camera, but then I'll use like an omni-bounce or some kind of diffuser on it to soften the light, and then whatever the room I'm in will dictate how I'm going to shoot, and it takes a lot of practice to figure out the best way. And I won't say a lot of it is luck, but some of it is luck to get the shots. So the best thing to do is to go around and find the areas that you like, I should say, that are aesthetically pleasing to you as backdrops.
With good backdrops. Yeah.
Right, as backgrounds and whatnot.
Yeah, because hotels are not necessarily known for great backdrops.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
But there are things about hotels that can add some interest depending on your subject. A long hallway, to me, if you get in, if you have a nice wide open lens and you're shooting like a fast class. Then you need to find some really interesting locations to make it worth your while to do that. Hallways are good for that. The entryways to the hotels can be good for that.
They can be really nice.
Yeah. And they're generally lit in such a way as to make the lighting really interesting also.
What about like filming outside? Or is that just like
Find the shade.
Find the shade.
Know where the shade is. You can shoot in direct sunlight if you get lucky. And by that I mean your subject has to be, if you're doing cosplay, you try and find somebody who's not dressed in a really white.
Right, because that just blows it right out.
Right, because you have to be aware of the exposure, and especially if you're trying to shoot wide open, that's tough because it's just not going to look good if you can't quite manage your settings for the exposure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other things that you can do, but if you're starting off and like all you have is a camera and maybe your speed light on top of it with a,
So how do you approach cosplayers and ask them for pictures?
It's really simple. You just walk up to them with the camera, be professional, and just say, "Can I get a picture? Can I take a picture?" What works for me is we'll take a few pictures like right there. Generally speaking, at a convention there's a lot of people around, so I will ask them, "Hey, let's just step over here a few steps out of the way so we don't have these people walking back and forth."
Yeah, because you'll get yelled at if you're taking pictures in front of like the elevator or escalator or something. Security's gonna show up and go, no, get over here.
Yeah, and they've done that. And
yeah,
plus,
yeah.
You just don't want people walking between you and the person too, because you really only have a few moments to get a couple of shots. So if you get some good shots and you show them on the back of the camera, if you get a reaction from them saying, "Oh yeah, that's really good, I really like that," if you've done this correctly, you'll be near the area that you want to shoot in outside, and you'll ask them, "Hey, do you mind if we go outside?" The big thing is have a business card, be professional, have a business card. That's what I was going to ask. Right, and always, always, always offer them the pictures. You're not there to make money off of these shots.
Right.
I'm not there to make money personally at all. I know some guys do, but for this, this is not where you're gonna like try and sell them.
Right.
Because there's a gazillion guys with cameras that'll shoot pictures that aren't going to charge them for it. But with a business card and you create a rapport, then you have the possibility of working with them later. It's like, hey, if you ever wanted to do a cosplay photo shoot of some of your other costumes that you really like,
I'd be happy to
right.
to help.